As you guys know who watch a lot of our videos, one of the more common things we get questions on is inset. We do an awful lot of inset cabinetry right now, which is where the doors and drawer fronts sit inside the front frame with about a 3/32 gap all the way around. It's really gaining in popularity, but as you all know, if you've shopped inset cabinetry, it can get quite expensive if you're buying inset cabinetry from a reputable line or a showroom. The reason is the upfitting of the cabinetry, putting the doors and drawer fronts on and honoring that 3/32 gap is really difficult. So all that weight is on the cabinet shop. Well, in the case of Conestoga's RTA cabinets, you, the homeowner, are doing that installation and assembly and upfit. So while you're getting the cabinets at a really good discount, I mean, inset cabinetry only adds a couple of percent to the job, it does put some weight on you with the upfitting. Now, what we're going to talk about in this video is installing the actual drawer front onto the drawer box in an inset application. So we have a video already on our website that covers the same thing for overlay, but we're getting a real preponderance of questions from customers on how to do it for inset. So we're going to break down here to this cabinet. I'm going to show you how this works. It's much the same, but we have some tricks and tips you can use to honor that 3/32 gap and adjust it out real nice. So hang with us, we'll get started. All right, so to get started with this installation of a drawer front, you're going to need some tools. One is a good drill. We like these little impact drivers that have a torque setting on them. You're going to need 4 1.25" wood screws to hold the drawer front to the drawer box from inside the cabinet. And you're going to need some way to hold this drawer front to the drawer box. Now, this is an area of contention. We have a lot of folks that watch our other video and don't like this process, but we do, so we're going to keep going with it. We just go to Lowe's and we buy this 3M double-backed tape. It's about a 32nd, maybe a week 16th thick. It's kind of squishy and it's tacky on both sides. We buy this stuff by the roll, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut off 4 squares, and we're just going to stick those to the front of the drawer box, and then we peel the sticky layer off. Now, once you have those 4 sticky pieces on, you want to pre-drill some holes. Now, I want to talk this through because this can change based on the drawer front design. You want to have these 4 holes from inside the cabinet with a very small, a 32nd inch drill bit. You're just trying to do a pilot hole to not split your drawer front out. But those holes want to come into the drawer front. In this case, we're trying to get into the back of the frame of the drawer front. You don't want to come through the panel area, or that screw will poke through your panel raise. If this was a slab drawer front, just one block of wood, you can come through anywhere you want on the back of that drawer front. In this case, because I'm trying to get into this framing, I kept my holes way to the outside of the drawer box. Okay, so be careful where you place those holes. So I'm really ready to go. I've got my sticky tape on there, and what that does is it acts like a second set of hands. When I press this on, it's going to hold the drawer front to the drawer box so that I can then open the drawer and get my screw gun to the inside. In this case, on a top drawer where I have access to the inside of the drawer box, it's not as big a deal, but picture if this was a 3-drawer stack and you're trying to do this on the lower drawer or the middle drawer. The trick with mounting a drawer front has always been, how do I get the drawer to stay where I want it, especially when I have these critical 3/32 gaps while I run those screws. That's what this tape is doing. That's why we love it so much. So I'm going to go ahead and use a shim. What we've done here is we've created a shim that's a little thicker than 3/32 of an inch. You can use any kind of scrap you want to give this one some buildup. We just use some painter's tape. We're just going to set that there, and then we lay the drawer front in the opening. We're not pressing it in place until we get some gaps lined up, and we're going to eyeball the left and right gap. And you're going to say, well, why are you eyeballing it? The reason we eyeball it is because, and I'll show you this in a moment, when we open the drawer, there's some adjuster wheels on the bottom of the tandem drawer glides that will allow us to shift the drawer front left and right. So we can adjust those gaps all we want. What we care about is the bottom gap and the top gap. Okay, so I've pressed the drawer front on, and if this is a bottom drawer, I can't get my hand inside the cabinet, I can just press that on, and here's what we like. As you open the drawer up, the drawer will stay right where I put it. It doesn't fall off. Now I have all the time in the world to grab my screw gun. Using my 1.25" screws, I'm going to come right into my pre-drilled hole. And you'll want to hold this on as tight as you can. Some folks might even put a rubberized clamp there because as you run the screw in, it wants to push the drawer front off. But if you've got a good grip, you'll be okay. When you hear that torque setting go, you're done. So now you have a drawer that will open and shut. The drawer front is mounted, but you're going to have some gapping here that you may want to adjust. So when you open the drawer front, underneath the drawer box, there's 2 adjuster wheels. And I'll show them to you here. These 2 adjuster wheels, as you spin them left and right, you will actually rack the drawer front left and right in the opening, and that's how you'll dial out that left and right gap. Okay, so that's the first adjustment. If you have to go up or down, that was a shimming issue, you'll have to unscrew the drawer box and raise the drawer front up. But our hope is that with the shim being correct, you should have a good gap. The other thing I want to show you real quick is you may have to adjust in and out. In other words, your drawer box might be sticking, or your drawer front might be sticking out of the cabinet too far. Remember, you have these inset mounting blocks, separate video we shot, but it's a great little trick, is just loosen that screw up, and you can move the drawer track in and out on both sides, secure your screw, put your drawer box back in, and now that drawer box will go further back into the cabinet. So that's your fore and aft adjustment for your drawer front. So we hope this has been helpful, and as usual, give your sales rep a call. Any one of us can help you out if you give us a call. We'll talk you through this kind of stuff. We know it gets a little bit frightening when you're first trying this out. You're like, oh, it's not fitting, I can't get my gaps right. We're happy to work with you on any of that. So just give us a shout, 888-211-6482. Thanks for watching.